Hello friends, I Ranjan want to be discuss here about the first lecture of the communication in this session. This video lecture is very important for you guys to prepare for the junior engineer, assistant engineer exams in government sector. So here I am discussing the most important part of the communication in first lecture about the modulation, demodulations, okay, why we use a band pass filter, why we use a low pass filter, why we use transmitter and receiver in different manner. Okay, so first point for the communication is that, okay, what is the main communication? A word communication has been derived from the Latin word communication has been derived from the Latin word communicare. Latin word communicare. So Latin word communicare, which means to share. In इसका means क्या होगा? Which means to share. In another word, we can say transmitting the ideas. It means transmitting the ideas and emotions. Transmitting the ideas and emotions. Emotions is called communication. So it means transmitting the ideas and emotions is called communication. So what is the communication? A word communication has been derived from the Latin word communicare, which means to share. In other we can say transmitting the ideas and emotions is called communication through any satellite, because we are study about the satellite communication or electronic communication. Okay, so it is called technically we are discuss here. Okay, so how we can transfer any data through any device? So we have to make a need of modulation technique. So what is a modulation and what is demodulation? So these are the important part for the communication in your satellite communication system. Okay, so it is called modulating signal. Okay, and then this is called medium. It is also called carrier signal. Okay, now it will again change into the modulating signal. If you typing any message or you call someone, then it is modulating signal until you talk them. Okay, so it is called modulating signal. When you type any message, so it is also called message signal. If you type any message in your phone and you send that, so then this signal, this is called message signal, is collaborate with the carrier signal, and this will make due to uh, due to combinations of carrier signal and modulating signal, it is called modulated signal. What is called modulated signal? So again converted into the modulating signal. Okay, so it this process is called, and what is this process? When the modulating signal change into the modulated signal and modulated signal change into the modulating signal, so this phenomena is called modulation. And when modulated signal again change into the modulating signal, it is called demodulation. So if you have the modulation and demodulation both the techniques, so it is called a modem. So the combination of modulation and demodulation is called modem. You know that modem. And if modulating signal change into the modulated signal, so it have also be connected a transmitter. What it connected? Transmitter. And when the signal is changed into the modulated to modulating, so it have a receiver. Okay, when modulating signal is changed into the modulated signal, so it is use a band pass filter. And when modulated is changed into the modulating signal, it is use low pass filter. So this is the most important point for your exams, that what is the main important point? Band pass filter is connected to the message signal or modulating signal where we are get from, and when it is changed into the again into modulating signal, then low pass filter is connected with it. Okay na? So modulation are of two type. Modulation are of two type. Here we are discuss about the type of modulation. If we are talking about, so modulation are of two type. How many type modulation? First, continuous type modulation, and second is pulse type modulation. Continuous type modulation are of two type: amplitude modulation, and second is angle modulation. Most important, angle modulation. And angle modulation are of two type. These are, what are the angle modulation? Angle modulation are of two type. These are frequency modulation, and second is phase modulation. So you have to know these types. Modulation are of two type: continuous type, pulse type. Continuous are two type: amplitude and angle modulation. Angle modulation are frequency modulation and phase modulation. Pulse, what is pulse modulation? Pulse modulation are PAM, pulse amplitude modulation; PPM, pulse position modulation; PWM, pulse width modulation. It is also called PDM, pulse duration modulation, also called PTM, pulse time modulation; and the last is PCM, pulse code modulation. So these are the type of modulation. Okay, in the next lecture we will discuss about the amplitude modulation. What is the amplitude modulation and how we are change into the DSB SC, DFC SC, SSB SC and SSB signal. So you analyze and study about those lecture. Okay, so here first this is the first lecture of the communication. Please study, all of you. If you like this, please subscribe the channel. Okay, thank you.